We started off this day by going around the town filling in some nice huge potholes. But first, we needed to get the patch really hot by baking the patch in our portable oven. We find the biggest holes that need patching, then we generously apply the patch to the hole. This is to ensure that we are filling all the hole's crevices to their maximum capacity. Many of the holes we get around the city are caused by excess car traffic, light industrial vehicles, and during the wintertime, the snow plows drag across the concrete, thus snagging up chunks and creating new holes or making existing holes quite bigger. The average hole takes around 5 to 10 minutes to properly fill. We have to fill potholes all year round, even in the coldest parts of winter.
On to the next one.
If you see our workers around, make sure you slow down. To protect everyone's safety, we have the more dangerous holes filled, then radio in to see if there's more pressing jobs for the day.
Car 1, Jerry.
It just so happened there was. We dropped off the oven at our headquarters and headed to where there was a dangerous snowdrift on one of the city streets. Try and push the snow as far up the curb as we possibly can. Now have to run over the area a few extra times. We soon get a call for a new job. A resident needed their water turned off. When we arrived to turn off his water supply from the outside line, we noticed the outside fitting was damaged and realized we had to dig the whole unit out to replace it. This required us to dig approximately a 6-foot hole in his yard. To do so would involve us to bring a backhoe into the current job. We also had to call the gas company and have them come out and mark the gas line. After an hour, we had to have the gas company come back out because we had ran into a gas line that was not marked. Once they had arrived, the gas company confirmed the gas line was old and inactive. So then, it was back to work. Once we got near the mark, we used a water pressure tool to loosen up the rest of the soil near the unit's joint. After we cleared the dirt away from the unit, we realized the unit was rusted in place. So we pulled out a hammer and chisel and began whacking away. The unit had sustained massive rusting and corrosion. We soon conquered the task of removing it though.
Once we got near the end of our digging, we sent the backhoe to the garage to return with fresh sand. This was to enable that the new pipe we installed slides easily up and down. Also, the sand allows for a good mixture of topsoil. This helps regrow the grass. Now it was time to check the fitting of the new pipe. The fit was very snug, but the main shaft was just a tad too high. We then snipped about 6 inches off. Once down to the proper size, we tested it once again. This time trying the on-off valve on the pipe. Soon after we had the pipe installed, the sand arrived, and we began to fill the hole back in. First with the sand, next with the existing clay. We packed the clay down to the surface of the lawn. With the excess dirt, we filled our dump truck to be hauled away to the landfill. We cleaned the residence yard as best to our ability, and then headed to the next job. We headed to the landfill with our dirt load. Once we got there, we had some major malfunctions. The hopper seam broke. It would not dump our dirt load. So we had to take the vehicle back to the DPW headquarters.
This is the heart and soul of the
DPW
back
keeps
here.
us running, that's for sure.
Keeps the cops running, the ambulance is running, fire department.
Tell 'em. Without you, the city would shut right
Spiral.
down. They had a dead battery, but the thing is they left the computer on, and you can only run down the battery so many times, completely dead, and then it doesn't recover. Even though you charge it up, it just doesn't recover back. And you do that like the third time, the battery's junk, even if it's fairly new, which the one was, so you got to replace it. So keep them going. Just like I said, there's so much demand on the system with all the lights and spotlights, headlights, light bar, computers in the car, everything flashing when they're on the run. So as the car goes by, the person thinks, okay, he's only catching me from the front. Switches back to the back, and he can catch you as you're leaving him. So you think if you're going to speed up after you pass him, he'll catch you 4 miles down the road.
At the DPW, we have to maintain all of the city's vehicles. This includes police, fire department, as well as the water and sewer, backhoes, street sweepers, also the many other vehicles you see around town. We have in stock at our facility a wide variety of tire. Also, we have a plethora of tools and equipment. We have many parts in stock at our disposal to service and maintain the vehicles. What we do not have, we can purchase from local merchants here in Riverview. The tree that is causing us the problems was hanging over the street and had damaged a few vehicles already. It was getting extremely close to the power lines. For a tree cutting job, we always need 2 people on the job. One to cut, and one to be the spotter. Once up in the air, we try to cut the tree into sections. This is for easier lifting and disposal of the limbs. And with the emerald ash borer running rampant in the northeast, all of the ash trees in the downriver area eventually has to be cut down. This is to stop the disease bugs from spreading out through all the counties in Michigan and surrounding state. We dispose of these trees the same way as we are now. The wood chipper we use to mulch the wood is a diesel-powered machine. It is extremely powerful. We use it with the utmost caution. The powerful blades and sprockets can easily mangle a human limb very quickly. Once we have all the cut limbs from all the trees we had cut down, we take it to our landfill. The Riverview landfill is one of the approved disposal sites in Michigan for the emerald ash tree. We then head back to the DPW to see if we can squeeze one last job in for the day.